Often mothers worry about their baby's liquid stools. That's understandable, since kids with liquid stools could actually be sick, with loss of liquid, nutrients and electrolytes, salt that is, leading then to dehydration, metabolic problems and malnutrition. For more on that, have a look at my video on kids with diarrhea. My question to these mothers is then, does she drink your milk? When their answer is yes, she does, I'm mostly reassured. When I ask them whether their baby looks sick and that baby indeed doesn't look sick, I sit back and ask them if baby gains weight. If that is indeed the case, then no doubt is left. This baby is most likely healthy. Indeed, kids who drink their mother's milk usually produce frequent liquid stools. Unfortunately, in a world where hard stools has become the norm, even for babies, this revelation comes as a shock for many. This is an important topic because I have often seen kids who have to undergo blood tests, stool tests, or who are treated with antibiotics or worse, whose mother is recommended to stop breastfeeding. Such an approach doesn't make sense when liquid stools are simply the normal result of breastfeeding and not the consequence of an illness. The reason for these soft or liquid stools in infants who drink their mother's milk is that breast milk contains substances that are not digested and that have a tendency to retain water in the gut. These substances are called prebiotics. They actually belong to various family of sugars that we call oligosaccharide. And no, indeed, these are not actual strawberries. These substances also have the property of inducing the growth of certain beneficial bacteria in the gut, the famous probiotics. In turn, these probiotics make life difficult for other bacteria that could cause illnesses, thereby protecting the baby against those infections. You must have heard about these probiotics, those good bacteria, and perhaps also about the prebiotics, this sugar that feeds these beneficial bacteria. In fact, for a while already, infant formula producers often add pro and prebiotic to their formula. These are often referred to as GOS or FOS on the formula box. The properties of these man-made prebiotics are not completely the same as those of their natural cousins, but the result is that kids who drink such prebiotics and probiotics enriched formula also often present with soft or liquid stools. Now, the actual stool consistency in breastfed babies may vary quite a bit, from frankly liquid to mushy or pasty. The stool frequency will also be highly variable, from one stool after each feed to one stool every few days, or even, not so rarely, one stool per week or less. But in such case, it is still best to check with your doctor that everything is fine. So, if your breastfed baby has liquid stools but doesn't look sick and gains weight normally, well, the most likely explanation is that everything is indeed okay. I want to take the opportunity here to remind everyone that young infants have a very small stomach, but do need lots of energy to grow. It means that they will naturally often demand to be fed, since they can only drink small quantities at a time. It is therefore normal that a newborn and an infant until the age of 2-3 months would request food every 2 hours, or even more often than that, and without much regularity soon after birth. I should also mention here that it is clearly recommended that babies should be fed on demand and not following an imposed rhythm. Finally, a word of caution. Indeed, some newborn, some infant, or even some older kids may have frequent liquid stools, either suddenly or more progressively, associated then with malaise, poor weight gain, or even weight loss. Such situations are indeed abnormal and should be evaluated with a degree of urgency in case of smaller babies. See also, again, my video on diarrhea in kids for more information on this topic. Alright, that's it for our short discussion today about the normality of liquid stools in breastfed babies. I hope that you have found it useful. If so, do not hesitate to push on the like button. See you next time. Ciao!